So, good afternoon. In your presentation, you talked about a bit high balance sheets that central banks have accumulated over these past years with quantitative easing. Now, my question to you would be, how do you predict or how do you think it's the best way for them to clean their balance sheets away?
Okay. So I think, in terms of Portugal, and I think you might want to talk a little bit about that, that's probably the single most important issue we still have to solve in our banking system. Precisely the amount of non-performing loans that we have in our bank's balance sheets. Now, there are active strategies or passive strategies in order to solve that. A passive strategy would be that, you just let credit grow naturally. And of course, if you don't have new non-performing loans, as a share of total loans, they become smaller and smaller. So that's one strategy. The other strategy would be other solutions like Cyprus has done and other countries, which is to try to take those assets out of the bank's balance sheets to put it like in a bad bank sort of stuff. But of course, that solution requires a lot of negotiation and analysis also with the government because, well, basically, banks have to be able to take in all these capital losses in their balance sheets. So it's not something that it's trivial, but I think it's definitely probably the only thing left between us and upgrading our republic, the sovereign debt rating. Yeah.
Okay, in another event-related question, how do you think that Economia Viva in its 5th edition contributes to the deepening of the knowledge of all students?
Well, I think it's pretty important. First because it managed to gather, a good set of different views and with different backgrounds and different contexts and from these institutions. So we had Inês from the regulator in the Bank of Portugal. We had Miguel from the Federal Reserve System in the US, and Pedro Lein certainly has a different perspective on these things. So I think, first of all, it's great for the students and for the audience in general to understand that, smart people can disagree on some topics, but I think it also passed this message there's a lot that we agree upon. And I think that also gives us hope that when students come to school and learn all these topics, that for sure there's at least some orthodoxy that people tend to agree upon, and this can constitute valuable knowledge for the students.
Okay, thank you. That will be all.
Welcome. Thanks.